We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All right. Doing an informative speech for a speech class that I'm doing through Central Texas College. This speech is going to be 4 to 8 minutes long. The start of this is going to be right here. So I did this speech on caffeine and effects on the body. As everybody knows, most of us get up in the morning and start our day with a cup of coffee, or in the middle of the day get a drink of soda or a candy bar or something to keep us going through the day. So I've put up this chart here. This table will give us an idea of different beverages and different candy bars, things like that, and the quantity of caffeine that's actually in each of these items. As you notice, these drinks and the chocolate contain different vast amounts of caffeine. A cup of coffee would contain somewhere between 60 and 150 milligrams. One 12-ounce can of cola would contain anywhere between 43 to 64 milligrams, depending on which type of cola you drink. Dr. Pepper, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all of those are different variations of caffeine content. And although 63, 64, 150 milligrams doesn't seem like a whole lot whenever you constitute different measures of the beverages that you drink and the quantity of food you eat in a day, but different effects on the body are found by different quantities of caffeine. The average coffee drinker in the U.S. actually consumes anywhere from 2.6 cups per day to a total of about 363 milligrams of caffeine. Non-coffee drinkers consume 91 milligrams per day in other forms. 90% of people in the world use caffeine daily in different ways, whether that be eating a chocolate bar or drinking something with caffeine in it. 80% of adults consume caffeine daily, and it's the overall amount. So the next thing we'll cover is the chemical makeup of caffeine. Caffeine itself is a stimulant that affects the central nervous system. It's considered a member of the xanthine chemical group. Caffeine itself has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours. So if you were to drink a cup of coffee within a few minutes, that the time that it actually takes to hit your body, it would take you at least 5 to 7 hours, depending on your weight, your metabolism. Different factors would constitute how long it would take for it to even break down to half of its caffeine content. There are factors that affect how it actually affects you. Those are usually your weight and metabolism, your sensitivity itself, because different people have different sensitivity levels, and then how much you actually consume. A larger person could consume 300 to 400 milligrams and still have the same effect that somebody who weighs 100 pounds could take 1 cup of coffee at 60 to 100 milligrams. So now there is a toxicity that is associated with caffeine. It is possible to actually have fatal doses. That's close to 10 grams, which would be a lot if you think about 200 milligrams for a couple sodas a day. So, and also there is an average amount that most people drink daily. It's between 200 to 300 milligrams. That's normal for any person that drinks caffeine daily. And then there's 100 milligrams that is considered the base level for dependency. So anybody that drinks at least 100 milligrams can be constituted as being able to be dependent on it. Now there are a lot of positive effects to caffeine. A lot of us who drink caffeine all the time use it for most of these effects. Increased alertness, concentration, and energy. In some cases, people are more social whenever they've had caffeine, mostly because they feel more energetic. There's also information from the FDA that caffeine is an approved product for use with pain-killing medications for improving pain relief. Anybody that gets migraines, you'll notice that there is a benefit to having like a Excedrin PM or something with a caffeine additive to it. And then there's limited evidence to say that it benefits asthma, mostly because the effects of caffeine in the bloodstream actually open blood vessels, so it causes a better breathing environment. and then limited evidence to reduce the risk of Parkinson's, liver disease, type 2 diabetes, and dementia, mostly for those same factors. Now, the negative effects, those are things that we all have definitely seen, especially whenever we've taken too much. You know, you break that threshold of about 300 milligrams and you start to experience some of these negative side effects. Anxiety, dizziness, headaches, gastrointestinal upset. So anybody that, has to take Pepsid, things like that, those are common things. People will get the jitters, which is very common. You'll see a lot of the young kids that are going through school, they'll get the jitters whenever they're trying to stay up late and take caffeine for classes. Restlessness, which I know I get that all the time. I don't sleep very much, and most of that's because of the caffeine intake. Sleeplessness and diuretic. So frequent bathroom breaks, you can blame it on caffeine. So caffeine doesn't have a link to higher cholesterol, though some people will come out with all kinds of different things that they say is a negative effect. But irregular heartbeat, increased risk of cardiovascular disease and cancer, those are all things. Then there are withdrawal effects. So if you go for extended periods of time without it, you'll notice certain things happening to you, like tiredness, irritability, fatigue, and headaches. And headaches is the biggest one that most people notice. That's when they usually say, oh, I need something to drink. I need some caffeine. In moderation, caffeine is not harmful. It can be beneficial in some cases. Just as a recap, there are benefits and negative effects that can be managed that'll allow you to basically tune how you take advantage of that positive or that negative, and then that way, if you manage your dosage, withdrawal effects can be very minimal as far as if you were to go a day without having a cup of coffee. Some people just can't miss it. But with all of those negatives and benefits, there's nothing really that's a big deal for grabbing that cup of coffee. So enjoy that cup of Java. Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 again.